Leadership truly gets tested in times of crisis, and HR plays a pivotal role in guiding organizations through uncharted waters. Today, we delve into the intriguing dynamics of coaching the CEO and explore how HR can step into the spotlight as a strategic leader. To shed light on the transformative role, it's my privilege to invite our keynote speaker of the evening, who is a renowned TEDx speaker, SHRM 24 influencer, Talent Tech Titan 24, and a spiritual scholar. Let's welcome Dr. Kanupriya Manchanda.
Thank you so much, dear, for a generous introduction. I hope I am audible. So, Pulkit said, Kanu Tech we will take care of, we have purpose, all the tasks will be taken care, but what will still remain with the people to handle is the coaching side. So, that's what brings me here, coaching the CEOs. Again, not an easy task, so I would say blessed to be a teenager here in the HR community at Indore and working with InfoBeans for the last 16 years. Got an opportunity at various instances to get coached by the CEOs and provide an opportunity to coach them as well. So again, not just crisis, probably some very important stats that we look at from Gartner and McKinsey reports. 70% of the CEOs where the people strategies and the organization strategies are aligned, we get better outcomes. People function, so-called, taking care of the mundane operational tasks alone are gone the days, right? I can pretty much have a lot of known faces in the crowd here, so can imagine the kind of alignment that it brings in. It is we who know on the floor what our team members want, right? Our CEOs may say that, okay, let's put out a table tennis table. We said, enough of table tennis, we need a PlayStation here in the team, right? So that kind of variation, that kind of inputs that we bring in are small elements. Let's jump deep into the topic on the challenging times, the crisis situations. Anyone, what are the challenging times that you would have faced in your careers as HR professionals, where we struggled as a team, as an organization? What could be those? Anyone?
Getting a good and trained manpower.
Good and trained manpower, no matter which industry you are, it is a problem. Yes, what else?
Getting a budget approved.
Budget approved.
For employee engagement.
Lovely. I was also thinking, is it a CEO and a CHRO alignment, or we need a CFO alignment also? True. Budget approvals. What else?
For the candidate also.
Candidate, no doubt. If you are in an IT industry and the candidate joins and it's like, आज तो मेरा उपास सफल हो गया. What else? Culture building. Very true. Holding in what is very important, something that is the DNA of the organization. How do you keep it intact when you grow?
Talent acquisition and retention.
Talent acquisition and retention पूरी cover ही हो गया एक ही बात में.
It's always a problem.
Absolutely.
And
Learning and development. So I must say, Magnum and Pulkit, you guys have done a great job. You have people from all sections of HRD, right? So definitely, forget pandemics, economic downturns, natural disasters, but I think the challenging times that we all face on a daily basis is difficulty in attracting talent, skill redundancy, right? You have people who, what do? Those skills are no more needed, but they have a very good cultural alignment in the organization. Attrition, the equilibrium of demand and supply. You have work, you don't have people. You have people, you don't have work. Right?
I think space for microcultures.
Microcultures.
I think there is still a lot of resistance to it. There has to be an organizational alignment, different verticals, different kind of microcultures are needed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And especially when there are areas where you do a lot of mergers and acquisitions, the new entities bring in their own fabric. You can't turn it out in a single day. Right? So, what are some of the common pitfalls that happens when we are dealing with these challenging times? What are some of those common mistakes that we already know we make when we are managing or dealing with these times?
Digital transformation.
We are reacting.
Aligning ourselves with the digital transformation.
Is it a pitfall to align with digital transformation? So, हम mistake क्या करते हैं? What is an area where we ignore while probably in the rush of doing things? Documenting things.
Putting wrong manpower at a wrong place.
Yeah, probably taking rapid decisions and not allotting the right seat to the right person.
Promoting
keeping
people
the
to
transparency.
managers without training them to be managers.
Yeah, promoting just by he's in the system for 7 years, the next logical, last 3 years we haven't changed the designation. Let us make the person a manager.
Not keeping the transparency between the business needs and the expectations of.
Brilliant. Communication gaps. Not actually communicating why are we doing what we are doing.
Not being empathetic.
Not being empathetic. You are a true people person. Right. What else?
Hiring candidates in a hurry, giving them unlimited backup education.
Yeah, and then you end up realizing they are moonlighting with 4 companies. So that's all, friends. So that's what my learning started with the ABCD. I hope you have your new one defined and would love to stay connected with you and learn your experiences around. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, please. Questions?
I'm hiring people last 13 years. Still टीम बन नहीं पाई अभी तक. लोग बोलते हैं कि विजन दिखाना, ये दिखाना, वो दिखाना, कभी बना नहीं पाया ईमानदारी से. बहुत ट्राई किया, बहुत सारा काम है, लेकिन हम हैं वहीं पर हैं. पैसा खूब आया लेकिन टीम नहीं बढ़ पाई. हाउ टू मेक इट टाइम. दो आर मेंटर इज हरमित जी, हमारे साथ में गाइड करते हैं. कुछ चेंजेस आए हैं. Still I am seeing कि कुछ what you did. I know you with class when I was in TPO to college in 11-13 something around. आज आपको दोबारा देखा मैंने आपके पास. आदमी जी बोला कि चलना था, मुझे चलेंगे पक्का. कुछ ऐसा बताओ कि ऑनेस्टली कि लोग रोक पाए, लोग विजन दिखा पाए. तो दोनों ही नहीं आ पा रहा अभी तक.
आई थिंक 2 चीज़ें मुझे लगता है जो इम्पैक्ट बहुत करती है. सबसे पहले सिर्फ सेल करने के लिए अपनी कंपनी का विजन सेल नहीं करना चाहिए. उसमें उस टीम मेंबर की ग्रोथ का क्या पर्पस है, उसका अलाइनमेंट ढूंढना पड़ेगा. एंड दैट इज द टफेस्ट जॉब. ऐसा नहीं है कि यार ये लिस्ट ऑफ 10 अलाइनमेंट्स है, इनमें से किसी कोई ना एक तो फिट होगा किसी टीम मेंबर. जेन्युइनली गेटिंग इन्वेस्टेड इन दोज पीपल, राइट. आई नो इट इज ईजियर सेड देन डन, लेकिन उन लोगों के साथ एक के साथ इंडिविजुअली मैप करना and trying to understand what is their end goal. See, you can never always be a best paymaster, right? आपसे ज़्यादा सैलरी देने वाला हमेशा कोई और होगा. And thanks to the growth in Indore as a city, almost every IT player that we name off is there in the city. Right? So the advantage of a real tier 2 is not there, but it's also an opportunity. You also have an opportunity to hire from all those players. So I think जो बात है ना, वो genuine connection बनाना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है.
मैंने बहुत सारी ट्रेनिंग्स भी करी. मेरी कंपनी नाम एंजल प्लेसमेंट सर्विस सोल्यूशन. बहुत ट्रेनिंग किया, सब किया, वो किया. फिर लगा बहुत करेंगे. वापस वहीं पर.
I think would love to have a detail, but I still strongly feel identifying the individual purpose and genuinely उसकी need को cater करना. Because to be honestly, for them they look the employer always from somebody who will do. Right? Who will do things for them. They will make a difference. So, love. Any other questions? If I can take 2 more minutes. Anyone? Good?
Ma'am,
Oh.
ma'am, sometimes when being into HR, it is like we have to bridge the gap between the top management and the lower management. And it is not always easy. There are points where the top management, where the HR has to go, is not agreeing to the things that we have to provide and understand the lower management or the operational people as well. So that is somewhat I have been facing since I started my career in HR. What will be your important points that how to cope up with that
fully hands-on hoga in the system. So I think I'll repeat the question for everyone. What if my CEOs, the co-founders are saying something else and my managers are saying something else, right? So you're not worrying about team members. It is the two sides of the leadership who are actually communicating differently. Trust me, it is no unique problem. Everybody, including like today evening I had the same situation. Right? So this is something where, because हर किसी का एक अपना influence of circle है, right? So they are more worried about. So if it is a delivery person, they are more worried about I'm not getting the right people. I'm more focusing on I would not like to transfer this individual to the other department because he is my key player. Although he is on bench currently, but I would not like to transfer that person. And the founder says, yeah, he's a good leader. We are bidding it. Let's promote the individual to the other side. Right? So this kind of a thing, I think, predominantly, that is where the real coaching issue comes in. Things that have worked for me in such situations is first trying to establish your sense who is correct. Right? It's not always the top which is correct. Right? Trying to see what is good for the organization. Always, I personally feel, always remember, you're not working for your boss, you're not working for your CEO, you're working for the organization. So, whatever is good for the organization, that is where you try to create an element of push. So I still remember I get an appraisal feedback for my own sales, and the feedback says, stop pushing back the founders. So again, but that is something which is a good problem, and trust me, if you are facing that situation, you are going up the ladder with the HR manager. It's good going there.
So it's a classic mother and wife problem, right? You have different voices, you have to stay in the family.
Absolutely, and you have to make sure that there is still a good harmony between both of them.
They understand each other.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much everyone. Thank you Magnum and thank you Pulkit for giving me the opportunity to be here.
I'm sorry, Bhavna, for hijacking the stage. I was not supposed to be here. I wanted to personally thank you, Dr. Kanupriya, for taking this session. So very interestingly, last Sunday I called her and she, thank you for accommodating my says. Last Sunday I called her. She was supposed to be in Pune today. And somehow I only met her once and twice. We ever had some good hangout sessions. I never heard her any TED talk. But I told her that this session is something I really want you to do. Very few seconds, once she was into the room, I could hear the voices of Kanupriya ma'am. She looked like a very relevant person for today's audience. But more than that, I told Kanupriya, little interactions you've had, the kind of love, kind of life, the kind of energy, the kind of spark you carry is something I totally love. I'm sure you'll be one of those. I put her into some more difficult spot now, right? I told her, right, you'll be one of those people who don't just come for the talk, give the talk and just leave, right? You're going to stay with us. You're going to share your warmth and love with the audience, right? And that's our energy, right? And somehow all that energy, all the love that I see in you, all the emotions I see in you, reflected a lot of the initiatives, the kind of compassion that you were able to create, the kind of empathy you were able to drive these business objectives. So I'm 7x happy that you were able to make it today. Thank you, Dr. Kanupriya, for today's session.
Thank you so much everyone. And I must recommend anybody who is in Gurgaon and attending any of the events of People Matter and SHRM, a night before there is a hangout party that happens at Magnum's place by default, and trust me, that's the best networking, even better than what an event can happen. That's how it is, one of the event house parties at his place, that's how we connected in. So amazing opportunity, and probably thanks to HROne for bringing such events to Indore. Like we don't used to have so many events beforehand. So.
And thank you all of you invited. Anytime you really like to open to like LinkedIn, would love to host you people.
Thank you.
A big thanks to Dr. Kanupriya.